Right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Matt with another video. Hope you're all well. Before we get into today's video, if you could just do us a favour and subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and like the video if you do enjoy it. It does mean a lot. It is Monday night. We've got a lot, well, not a lot to go through. We've got a few house bits to go through, which is unusual, because it feels like the last sort of 10 days it's all been, apart from going through the garden quotes, which is something that we've got to go through. Feels like it's been a lot of car stuff, and that was when I was going on about the comments. I have just quickly checked, and the last few were just about the car. So I'm not gonna. I've sort of replied to the person that left them, but I'm not gonna go through them on the video. Although again, like I'm all over it at the minute. I can't remember if I'd already gone through them on the video or not, so I've just played it safe and not. But yeah. It is Monday, as I said. We have got a few things to go through, so definitely worth staying around. We've had another person out for the garden today to do some measuring up and get back to us with a quote, hopefully, after the last ones. I will go through that again in a bit more depth in a bit. Got some interesting news regarding the downstairs toilet. We are thinking about totally changing that up, which is something that I'm excited about. Katie's really excited about it. It's a nice little cheap hack. I won't obviously show you the front, but my driving license came today, which is brilliant. And yeah, everything like that has come. Hopefully a better week this week, to be fair, because last week just felt like, I don't know, it just felt like really bad. But we are having tea tonight. We are having chicken wraps. Okay, just cutting up the chicken there. I've gone with Peronaise chicken, Peronaise sauce with my chicken and garlic mayo. Okay, just gone with the double garlic mayo, and we've got some Cajun chips there.
So you want yours in your wrap?
Yeah, I'll put some in my wrap. Yeah.
And some on the side.
Yeah. It seemed like there's a lot, because it was like that weird thing where like you pour them out and then it's like there's not enough for a full portion the next time you come around using them, so I just chucked them all on because we're both pretty hungry. But yeah, and then I think the plan for tomorrow's vlog is going to be to do the whole walkthrough and like what snags to look out for, and then we'll just take it by there. Like I always say, if you have any comments, get them down below, get them on the Instagram posts, get them on Instagram DMs. I am keeping an eye out on them, and even if you've asked the same question but you might not have just seen the part of the video where I've answered it, just get down and I am going to start replying back to them on the comments as well. Like I say, I've just had a really busy sort of last 2 or 3 weeks, to the point where it was just easier to address them on a video opposed to like replying everyone individually. Like I say, I'm not a massive YouTuber, but it was just like, oh, when you're working all day and then, like I say, getting back going to the gym, and then it's just sometimes it just feels like you run out of time in the day. But I hope yous are all well, and I will pick yous back up when tea is done, and I'll probably go through the garden quote first, so I will catch yous in a sec. Right everyone, we have just had tea. I'm going to do the dishes, but before I do them I'm going to sort of go through just the stuff that I need to go through. I think if I put the upstairs light on, not that one, the upstairs light, should be a good little light in the background. So I thought I'd go through the garden stuff first. So obviously the people, I think I mentioned it in the beginning of this vlog, the people that we originally were going to go with still haven't got back to us. It's been a long 10 minutes, like, hasn't it, Katie? Rang them, I'm not going to go through it too much, but like we rang them at 3 o'clock on Friday. They said they'd get back to us in 10 minutes, and we're basically still waiting. So we sort of just almost like took that as like, well, they're not that interested or bothered about our like custom basically. So we contacted another company that done the neighbor, like one of our neighbors on the estate, their garden, and we have had them out today. They came out today. They were, funnily enough, doing another person on the estate, like a quote for them. I think, is it their actual next door neighbor as well, the one that
Down one.
Down, yeah, so like down one, from the couple that have just had their garden done by them. So yeah, they went there, then came here. So I think they're going to get quite a lot of custom from this estate alone, to be honest. I think, like, which doesn't shock us because they have done an amazing job on the the first garden. So they came around today, and we didn't get a quote today, but I feel a lot more confident that we will have one by the end of the week, hopefully. Touch on wood already, so yeah, but just the same principle again, like a couple steps added in from the house. I think that was the one thing that I forgot to mention to them, but I can easily bring that up. But we have also decided to add a walkway in now from the where the paving slabs, obviously we're asked for the step down into the grass. We're still going to get that, but we're going to have a walkway going from there to the decking. So that is the only thing that's changed. Everything else is going to stay the same. We are hoping to get a quote, not like, I think they were just going to like do a rough sketch of what it would look like. Katie has asked me not to show the vlog, so I'm not going to, and to be honest I don't know if I would have anyways, just purely because I kind of, if we do book it in, it is going to be an if, because obviously we were just originally going to try and get quoted for the paving, like the essentially just the labour of the paving, but we have asked them if they can like give us a quote for everything else as well. So that includes the decking at the back, so everything would get done by them. I'm not gonna like sit here and lie and say like, oh, me and Kate could definitely afford it, like no matter, like we are gonna see what it costs. I think it was just worth it because they do seem such a good company, but we are gonna sort of just see what it costs. And I'll be honest with you guys, if it is like a lot of money and we can't afford to fork out for everything at once, then we will just go ahead and ask them to do the labour for the paving. But yeah, we're just gonna wait and see what they actually charge us and go from there. Like I said, there's not really a lot else I can talk about for now until we get the quote back. So I think that will leave the garden talk for this week, if unless we hear back from one, the company that's just been, or two, the original company. I will obviously let you guys know on quotes and stuff, but that'll be that until we hear back from them. But with the downstairs bathroom, Katie seen something online. I will pop an image on screen now if Katie wouldn't mind sending one over, of the, what were they almost, Kate? Were they just like stick-on tiles? That's what they are, aren't they? And you just want them half height still, don't we? So we're just gonna go for some half height tiles. That was something that I don't know if I showed you, but it's, well, showing you now. So we're being really stubborn about actually getting this thing to stick on, really. That's what Katie was saying. But yeah, some half height tiles. Basically just, I'll just drop that down so you can see. So basically just halfway up the wall, and then we will paint the rest of the wall. How will it work in regards with this one? Do you know how we've already got the tile? I was actually wondering that, the tile on the back of the sink.
No, it doesn't have to go like...
Just go around it, sort of thing. Yeah. Would you want one like a similar colour, or would it just be white?
It's just going to be white.
Oh, so it would be pretty neutral anyways.
Yeah.
Does make sense. I was just wondering that myself, actually. I've just forgotten to ask. So yeah, we are just going to go with some stick-on white tiles. So if any of you guys have any sort of experiences with stick-on tiles or anything like that, let us know in the comments down below. But I think that is what we're going to do moving forward, because they weren't actually a bad price, were they?
We just
need to measure what we actually need. But yeah, another cool project. I think like at the minute it's hard to get invested in absolutely anything else until the garden. I think, like I say, that is just the next big thing for us, isn't it, really? Sorry, just forgot to shut the door. That is just like the next big thing, ultimately, is the garden. Update on the tap, the still haven't been out, still haven't been out to fix that, the plumber, and I find it weird that he knocked the water off as well, and then that have not been back. So it's like, I know it is just a little twist of like a screw, is it just a screwdriver would need to sort of, but it still sort of defeats the point. Like, they've knocked off our water and then not came back.
Only the hot tap though. So
Only the hot tap, yeah. So it's not like our whole water's off in the house and we've not like had a bath or a shower or anything. But just the sink. I don't know if you can tell as well, obviously you probably won't, but I am like so sunburned. I will try and get like a little bit in, look at that. But yeah, like it is sore. It was sore last night. I put some aloe vera on. It's been sore today because obviously I work with heat, so the heat sort of reflecting off the tubes and pounding onto my arms has not helped. But apart from that, that is absolutely everything. I have put a little thing on Instagram as well, so if you have any questions on there, ask away on Instagram, or if you don't follow us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram for one, but two, if you want to ask them, get them in the comment section down below. But yeah, I mean, apart from that, guys, I think that is going to be it for today. I do want to try and keep the midweek vlogs quite short and just simple, so I'm not going to waffle on any longer. I'm going to go and do the dishes, have a shower, etc., and chill out for the rest of the night. Maybe watch some Vampire Diaries. But I hope you're all well. Remember to like the video if you did enjoy, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Right everyone, welcome back to another day, another vlog. It is a double day vlog, obviously during the week normally anyways. So I've just got back from the gym about half an hour or so ago. We've had tea on the go. We're having fish burgers and chips with tea tonight. We've got some onion rings under the cheese there, so that looks all good and yummy. But yeah, just got a few comments to go through tonight. So I'm gonna have tea, chill out a bit, maybe go through them after I've done the dishes. But yeah, I hope you are all well. And like I say, if you have any comments, make sure to go through them. The comments tonight will probably spark a good sort of discussion and between, well, myself and maybe Katie. But yeah, I am excited to get into the comments from tonight. So yeah, we'll catch us in a sec. Everyone, so that is tea all done and the dishes all done also. I am just gonna get into the comments now. There is only two to go through, but I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna get ahead, not let them pile up. So someone commented saying, as a short-term fix, if you wanted to use the garden for summer, hire a rotavator and seed it yourself. It will cost you next to nothing and you'll be able to enjoy the garden. Now, it's something that we probably won't do now, because I think we're just very much like, look, regardless of whatever, like now it will get done this year, so we're gonna just, I think, stick it out. That is definitely something now though, like in hindsight, which is great obviously, I wish we'd sort of maybe looked into as soon as we moved in, just to rotivate the garden. And it is something that I think if you do move in around summertime and you have a garden like ours where it is a bit sloped and it's a bit of a mess, but you don't have the money straight away necessarily to get everything that you want done to it straight away, which I'm assuming a lot of people will be in that situation. I think the garden is probably one of the most expensive areas, and it definitely can be one of the most expensive areas when you want to go and do it, whether that's even just getting the slabs in, whether you want a turf, decking, whatever it is. It is really expensive. Sorry if you can't hear the washing machine in the background. I know, it's like weird, isn't it? It was like, oh, okay then. But yeah, I think in hindsight, like I say, that great thing, I wish we'd maybe just looked at doing that straight away as soon as we moved in last year, and then we would have had a garden last summer, and then like when the weather was nice, we could have just seeded it and we would have just had grass all year round, and then it wouldn't have felt as much like, oh, we just want to get it done. But we're still waiting on the quote to get back. I am hoping we get that back by the end of this week. I think it's just because obviously the last guys have sort of took the mick, which leads us on to the last question, which is, if they aren't getting back to you, then they are not particularly keen on the job. Probably best to move forward with new landscapers. Hopefully can make some progress soon. Take care. So thank you for that comment. And yeah, like, I'm not gonna lie, I sort of got that vibe on the day a little bit. Like, again, in hindsight, when you look back, when they for me, and I know you've just pulled a face there, Katie, but they were canny, but it was when they brought up the slabs. Like, I just look back to that moment now and I just think, was that the moment that they sort of were like, oh, well, we're actually out of this? Because they were trying to charge us like $1,000 more. And then when we told them, they almost didn't believe us the price that we got quoted, and we had to show them. And I don't know, like, I was just sort of like, today more than anything, like, I didn't think it back then, obviously, but just again, in hindsight, like, I'm just sort of thinking, was that the moment where they were sort of just like, oh, you know what, we can't actually make as much money from this job? And I did say to you, to be fair, like 10 days later, like, when we were still waiting, I was like a bit like, well, maybe they have just looked at it and went, they aren't going to make any money from this and it's not going to be worth their time. And I do think that's what it is. I just wish they'd maybe said, like, to be honest, because like I say, that's what's changed our mind going into the second lot, asking them to do a lot more for us and seeing what they'll charge. So yeah, I am just a bit like, I'm just hoping that we get that the quote back. Like I say, I think we are a bit more on the side of just getting it all done at once now. So it might be that summer's over by the time we actually get the garden done. But you know, I think this summer, especially with places being open to full capacity, it might just make us get out the house a bit more. And as much as I'd really want a garden to sit in, I just sort of keep thinking we're going to be in this house for years. Like, to sort of go one more summer, but meaning that in like maybe, I don't know, late August, September, we actually get the full garden finished. I don't know, I just sort of think there's, like I say, many years left in this house, and it's not like, I don't want us to get into a situation where I feel like we're in a race to get everything done. Like I say, you can start decorating whenever, but we can go, like, sort of almost take the baby, what are they called that you put on bikes? The little stabilizers. We can take the training wheels off. I think they're called stabilizers, but we can take the training wheels off when it comes to decorating in the summer. And I just sort of think, I don't want us to get into a situation where it's like we get the one bit of the garden done that we get done, and then we're just sitting and going, oh, well, when we're going to get the next bit done, when we're going to get the next bit done. Again, it's not that there's anything wrong with whatever way people want to do things. It's just, for me personally, I think now I'm just at that stage where it's like I'd almost rather save an extra 3-4 months to get and know that when we've got them booked in to come, the garden's finished once they're done. So I think that's the direction we're going to go out. Obviously, we will still look into it. But yeah, thank you for your comments. If you have any other comments, get them down below. Instagram as well. I will quickly check the DMs. I don't think there was anything before, but I will just quickly check. No, just silly little I can help grow your channel requests. So yeah, just get them in wherever you sort of can. And apart from that, that is going to be everything, guys. So like I say, any comments, get them down below, Instagram, wherever. Like the video if you did enjoy, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll catch you tomorrow.